Good evening and welcome to today's edition of Keeping It Real with Rammona. I have a special guest with me today. Her name is Vidya Tikari. Hi Vidya.
Hi, how are you? Hi everyone.
Good, how are you doing?
Very well, and I'm very excited for the show. And
Thank you so much for taking,
with my colors on.
Sorry, I missed that.
I said I'm all ready with my brightest colors on.
Oh, wonderful. You look beautiful. You look absolutely stunning. So thank you, Vidya, for taking the time out to be here today. And I'm just going to take a few minutes and introduce Vidya briefly, though I don't think you really need an introduction. A lot of people know who you are, but I'm still going to go ahead and introduce you. So Vidya is a very, very well-known name when it comes to makeup in particular. And from a very humble beginning in 1991, she's grown to become a professional name to be reckoned with in the field of hair and makeup. From catering to events like the Commonwealth Games in 2010, where the hair and makeup were done for over 9,000 performers. Is that right, Vidya? 9,000 performers?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was 5,000. It was 4. Yes.
Okay. Which also actually landed her name in the Limca Book of Records 2011 to the first ever Formula One Grand Prix. Vidya and her team have been servicing thousands of clients every year from around the globe. And since then, Vidya shaped stunning and exquisite looks for a lot of Bollywood celebrities. Some of them include Madhuri Dixit, Sushmita Sen, Aishwarya Rai, Deepika Padukone, Bipasha Basu, Malaika Arora Khan, Priyanka Chopra, Mallika Sherawat, it's a long list, Yana, Gul Panag, and so on. And in fact, Vidya also gave a new name to the concept of male grooming. So she's, done that with individuals like Vikas Khanna, Virat Kohli, Vijender Singh, Nagesh Kukunoor, and Rajeev Khandelwal, to name a few. So Vidya actually was born in Kolkata, after which her family moved overseas and to Papua New Guinea, right? That's how you say it, with Vidya. I hope I pronounced it correct. And so she basically credits her upbringing to family support and the diverse cultural background for the makeup artist that she is now. And she's someone who actually at the age of 5 knew that she wanted to be a makeup artist. That's incredible, Vidya. Often, people...
No one in the early 70s knew that, and living in Papua New Guinea, no one knew that makeup was a profession. We didn't know that. I just love painting. So I just love painting faces. So I started off painting my cat's face, and then my father's, and then my brother's, because I had people around me there. It was just so isolated. So yeah, so from then on, from boarding school till the time I went to makeup college in Brisbane, Australia, and 91, I came back. I came back to India, really for the first time, and I just loved being here, and I just loved the colors. I loved the vibrancy. I loved so many people, because in Papua New Guinea and Australia, you don't see people and you don't see colors like this. So it was very exciting for me to come here as a 20-year-old makeup artist, budding makeup artist. So
wow, sounds incredible. So actually, Vidya set up a studio which is which has been based in Lajpat Nagar too, and also you can find her presence in the Gurgaon branch. Sorry?
Yeah, so I'm not in Lajpat Nagar anymore.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. I'm in Gurgaon and GK1 now.
You're in GK1 now. Okay, so
places. So now I'm in GK1.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, wonderful. So you can find her in GK1 and also in the Gurgaon branch, the Levo Ibis Hotel. I think you've done some incredible work there. That's what I've heard.
Yes.
So, Vidya also actually teaches makeup. So that's something that she's been doing for a long time. And a lot of students rave about the energy she puts into her classes.
I I started teaching makeup, I would say almost 17 years ago professionally, and ever since
Okay.
then, I just loved the energy my younger students gave me. At that time, of course, they were my age, but I'm talking about now. The energy they give me, the sincerity, and also the enthusiasm which they give me is, I mean, by far more than what I get from um, any other clientele or any other, I would say, level of working. I love working with students. They're an inspiration for me. And also, being a teacher or being a trainer, being a person who inspires this generation and the next generation is difficult because you've got to be abreast with what's happening, and
Yeah.
you've got to know what the next step is or what people are looking for, which is really important. It's not what has been done over the last 5, 10 years. It's what's going to be done.
Yeah.
And as a creator or as
Yeah.
a inspiration kind of a person who is going to inspire people, you've got to be on top of it all. So that's tough, but it keeps you on your toes and it's fun.
Yeah, I think you have a good knack of doing that. I mean, I follow your work on Instagram as well as on Facebook. And, I think a lot of times, even before a trend becomes a trend, you're already, there. So I think you've been doing an incredible job of that.
That's true. I have a great team, and we're always like, let's do this, let's do that. Or everyone is doing this in Delhi. Let's not do that. Let's do something else completely. So for me, of course, I have my style. A lot of my followers and a lot of my clients know that I am, to an extent, a minimalist. I like to um, get that beautiful glowing skin. That's my thing. I love that bronze glowing skin. I love clean lines. I don't like too much happening in the face. So if it's happening in the eyes, it's not happening anywhere else. And I feel a lot of makeup artists who are there in the industry and who have established themselves also are on the same wavelength as me. But I do see a lot of young, enthusiastic makeup artists who are like all over the place. They're doing the eyes, they're doing the eyebrows, the liner, the lashes, the nose contour, the cheeks, the lips, the hair, the jewelry. It's like, oh my God, It's like when you're eating something, there's too much flavor. You've got to understand what you're doing,
Yeah.
for it to look beautiful or appealing. So that is something where I feel experience uh, plays a big part, where you know what to concentrate and what to let go
Uh-huh.
for that one particular look or for that one particular
Yeah.
client. And that's experience. So that's how it is.
Wonderful. That's true. Yeah. Awesome. So Vidya, I was wondering if you could share a little bit about, growing up, your growing up years, how that was, and what actually made you decide at the age of 5 that you wanted to be a makeup artist.
As I said, for me, I didn't know makeup was a job or a career because I
Uh-huh.
lived
Yeah.
beyond. And I'm sure 90% or 95% of the people don't even know where Papua. But yeah, it is above Australia. I lived in a tea plantation, and on that tea plantation, there were probably like 5 expatriate families. And I went to a school which had
Uh-huh.
77 children in it. So in each class, we had about 4 people or five
Uh-huh.
people in each class, or up to 10. So, as I said, exposure was very little. When I first went to Papua New Guinea, there was no television, but television came in. Radio was there. So I'm just saying, I didn't even know makeup, but I knew I had to do something which was artistic, and I knew I was so drawn to glamour and beauty. So I did a 2-year course in basically beauty therapy, applied science and beauty therapy
Okay.
in Australia, in Brisbane. And from then on, there was no stopping. I just knew this was it. This was my field. So when I came back, my parents came back from Papua New Guinea, and I was like, okay, I don't want to stay in Australia. I want to go back to my country. I've learned all of this, and something which I want to introduce because it's going to be different. So I was one of the first, I would say, freelance makeup artists in Delhi into fashion.
Okay.
And that was another one. So I did that. I did freelancing for a good 14 years. So that was a
Okay.
long time. And back in those days, nothing was digital. Nothing was like, you didn't have your beauty looks, and you didn't have your editing on your phone. We didn't have a phone. It was all film. So really, whatever we did as artists had to be pretty on perfect, because
Okay.
there was no such thing like editing. It was just really tough. So I learned the hard way, and I feel that was the best for me at the time because we learned to just perfect the look for that one picture, which was so tough. But now it's so easy. Everyone can be makeup artist. You don't even have to know makeup. You can just put a filter on. But you know,
Edit it all out.
yeah, it's just easy peasy. But back in those days, it was tough. We had a lot of starlets who used to fly down from Mumbai, and they didn't
Yeah.
trust and believe in makeup artists in Delhi. I don't blame them because there weren't many of us around. And I remember one time there was a starlet who came down, and I was like so nervous because I was only into very light makeup. In Australia, we used really light makeup and the natural look, and nothing was cakey, nothing was dry. So she was like, "Where's the pancake?" And I didn't know what pancake was. So I had this one little thing which looked like a pancake. I just put water in it with a sponge, and I just put it all over her face. She's like, "But you're meant to use a pan stick, and you're meant to use this, and you're meant to layer the skin." And I'm like, "No." I said, "You're in Delhi. We don't do all of that." I my way through. I mean, I kind of got recognized, thankfully, but I mean, ignorance is bliss. So I just thought, no, I've got to be confident, and if she doesn't believe in the kind of makeup I want to do, let me give her pancake.
Yeah.
But I had no idea how to do it. I learned. I learned the hard way. But, and of course, because of my nervousness, I dropped a whole bottle of liquid Lakme eyeliner all on her outfit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's an interesting experience.
Yeah, so it was tough. It was tough because I really had no idea. I had no mentor. I had no one to intern with. Um, but yeah, I got through. And I think it helps. You come from abroad and you're studying abroad. People just feel, I don't know how miraculously, that you know it all. I did know a lot, but I didn't know the Bollywood way, right? So I was just like, I just bluffed it. I
Yeah.
just bluffed it. But I learned, and now I know it all. There's no
Yeah, you
bluffing me.
do. I can vouch for that you know it all. But that's interesting. Thank you for sharing that story. I think, that really gives a lot of insight to the fact that in the beginning it must have been tough for you coming from a different country, having grown up somewhere else, and then having to kind of, work in India and cater to a different sort of audience, right? I mean, people have different expectations from the sort of makeup that you do. But I think over the years, you've kind of now, because you've been so established, you've stuck to kind of what you feel is the way you want to present individuals, right?
I feel I've just nailed it now. I know exactly what the clients, or I know what people here in Delhi or in India really want. But when I came from
Yeah.
Australia, I had no idea. Australia is all about natural skin and natural beauty. So I was all into natural, and it didn't work. For a while, it didn't work because people
Yeah.
didn't understand natural. They wanted pancake. So
Yeah.
now, I think now with social media, we've kind of come to like a midway or a middle ground where, yeah, there are people, the NRIs or maybe the South Delhi people who like a lighter mix of makeup, and there are other regions of Delhi and India who like a heavier, depending on
Sure.
the function, what they're going to. So yeah, I get that, and that's what I teach, and that's how I teach my students as well. So there's no right and wrong. I mean, just because you like a certain type of makeup may not be right.
Yeah.
It may not be right for everyone. So
Yeah.
you've got to be flexible, and you've got to know how to do all sorts of tricks.
Yeah.
Hi, Isha.
Amazing. So I'll just share a few comments here. Yeah, there's some excited folks. So she says hi, and then there's Kamal Jean here who says hi, Vidya and Rammona. So excited to see this show.
Hi.
And Kamal says you are the best, Vidya. So I thought I'll quickly share those few comments here. And there's someone called Ram Vijayan who says, please share your experience at Modi Care Urban Color Cosmetic Products.
Oh, Modi Care was lovely. I really, really had a good time doing a lot of their shows, pan India. Their products are fabulous. It's like a color bar. It's like a faces. It's like all the high end brands in India. It was easy to work with. There were just not many products, but enough for the everyday woman. So yeah, it was great. I had a great experience with them, and they were wonderful as a company to deal with. Thank you, Modi Care.
All right.
Yeah.
Lovely. So tell me, Vidya, I wanted to know that, in terms of you deciding to set up a studio, was it like a natural culmination of things for you? I mean, in the beginning, you said you were freelancing and then you decided you needed a place
Yes.
for your work. So how's that
So
experience over so many years been for you?
I decided to start a studio because I was having too many clients in one day, which I couldn't service them all being a freelancer. So I decided just to set up shop in one place, which is in GK1, where I started, and now I'm back there. And also, I had my children. It was tough running around being a mother. So I decided to give up my freelancing and start being I guess, somebody more into beauty, more into hair, and getting into the business of beauty rather than just being a freelancer. That was wonderful for a good 10 years, I would say. Then I feel competition, people were not willing to pay. Things changed, after a lot of the MCDs started sealing places, they sealed my place. So after then, it was 2008. Yes, my place was sealed, and then I had to move to Lajpat Nagar. It just became tough. I'm not saying it wasn't good, it was okay, but it wasn't like the early 2000 to 2008, 10. It was difficult, and I feel after that, and I trained so many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of makeup artists, I just felt that there was a lot of competition, which is good. It's healthy. I have no problem with that. I just felt going back now, after 20, 30 years of being in the industry, I feel it's just so much more peaceful and nicer being a freelancer and dealing with just the kind of clientele which you want to be with. And I can't please everyone now. I've done it. I've done shows for everyone. I've done shows for, um, you know, uh, products which I really didn't believe in. Now I'm just using products which I believe in and just doing stuff which I want to do for actually the first time in my life. And I'm loving it. I have lesser clients,
Wonderful.
which I love, but I've got exactly people who I want um, to be involved with. So it's a great turn of events, I would say. And I feel we all kind of
Okay,
grow
wonderful.
up, know what we want to do with our lives, especially especially being mothers, especially being entrepreneurs. Um, s- I feel I've got a great balance now.
Awesome. So I have a comment here from Nidhi. She says, "Hello, ma'am. Seeing you, Vidya, ma'am, after so many years is a pleasure. Getting my makeup done by you on my special day still makes me feel beautiful." So there you have it. People still have, those beautiful memories, I guess, of the special day. I suppose she's talking about her wedding.
Of course, it has to be. It has to be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A
So,
really funny
the,
incident which happened to me um, about 20 years ago on Valentine's Day.
uh-huh,
So
uh-huh.
I had my studio in GK on the second floor. So I had one little bedroom, and I had converted 2 or 3 bedrooms into like one draping room, a hair room, a makeup room. So I remember I had all these brides, and there was just one bride. I'd already done her hair, her makeup, and she was sitting there with her jewelry and her blouse. And it was like 8 o'clock, and I had to go out that night because I had friends from Australia who were getting married in Delhi, and I had to like leave for their functions. And I was like, hey, I know your wedding is late, and you're traveling to GT Road or wherever it was. I can't remember. And I was like, hey, can you just get into your lehenga and just get ready because I have to leave.
Yeah.
So she opened up her lehenga box, and she pulled out her lehenga, and she realized that it was not stitched.
Oh my God.
There was,
Wow.
there was mayhem. There was mayhem in the studio because there was her mother, there was her sister, there was her friends. I still remember they cried and cried and cried. We had to redo their makeup, I think like 2 3 times. It was like then the sisters and the friends grabbed the lehenga, went to GK2. There was this place called the dressing room then. Luckily, the tailors were there and they stitched it up. It took about 2 or 3 hours, and they stitched it
Wow.
up. They came back, and I remember. I mean, she didn't even send a note of thanks or whatever. But I still remember that day, and I'll never forget it. She was absolutely distraught. Can you imagine just going for your wedding and your outfit is not stitched? And she never thought of opening up her outfit box. So that
Wow.
was like amazing. We were all so stressed out. It was like 11 o'clock, and we were sending this bride out. I was like, "Don't worry, the
Wow.
wedding is not going to happen if you're not there." I said, "Chill."
Sounds
But
like you handle a lot of different, situations, and I guess dealing with brides and weddings, these kind of things do happen and come up. So more power to you.
high stress, really.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
funny incident.
Isha says, "You're not only an inspiration for me and for so many others. Wish you all the best in your life."
Thank you, Isha.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I have a lot more comments coming. I think people are talking of remembering their special days, their weddings, engagements, and so on,
Right, right.
where you've done the makeup for them. So there's one aspect of you, Vidya, which I looked at some articles and your biography on your website and all of that as well, and it's an area that isn't spoken about. Of course, you're too humble, but I've personally witnessed you, help a lot of people, mentor a lot of people, especially women, people who've been in difficult circumstances. You've, sort of just taken them on, you've fed them, you've, trained them, you've mentored them, you've taken care of them.
Yes. Yes. So
So I think that's an aspect about you that most people aren't aware of, your large, generous heart, and how you're someone who's really out there helping people. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about that. What is it that made you decide that you want to be someone who's mentored, I don't know, maybe hundreds of people over the years, and how's that experience been for you?
um, I just felt I was very fortunate to grow up in Australia, and I was fortunate to be trained and have the best of training. So when I came to India, I just felt people were very desperate. It was just like a desperate scene. I saw a lot of women who almost were helpless. They had no jobs, they had no money, they had no support from the family. So I just felt that I had to step in and start maybe interning them. So I had a lot of
Yeah.
intern people who are now big makeup artists. I never charged them because I didn't know at the time that I could charge, or it didn't occur to me. I was just like, I just want to help them out. But then after a while, because there were so many people who were wanting to assist me at one time, I was like, this is not happening. I might as well start teaching. So that's how I started
Yeah.
off. But really clearly, for me as a woman coming to India, and of course being a little bit more fortunate than most, I really felt that I wanted these women to have a standard and to understand the art of makeup and understand what pleasure and how happy it actually makes a lot of women. I mean, if you're looking good and you can present yourself well, you are going to be superbly confident. And that makes all the difference in everything, I feel. Whether it's going for a job interview, whether it's just you being in touch with yourself or just with your loved ones, it's one of the most important things. And I think a lot of us have learned that through lockdown.
Yeah.
A lot
True.
really didn't take too much care about ourselves, or I'm talking about care in terms of being glamorous. We looked after our skin, we looked after our diets, some of us worked out. So I feel internally we really looked after ourselves. But after the lockdown, there were a lot of us who were just running to the parlors, whether it was a root touch up or whether it was waxing, whether it was facials and all that came much later. But I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's so important. And I saw that in some people coming in so desperate,
Yeah.
wanting to get back into feeling themselves, which I feel
Yeah.
um, we as women and even men, we have the power to look good all the time. It's in our hands. Besides being fit,
Yeah.
besides physically and mentally fit, you've got to spend time on how you outwardly project yourself to the world and other people.
Yeah. True. I agree with you. So Nidhi's asking what should be done for skin after 35 years of age. Are there
What
any
should be done?
tips you'd be willing to share? I'll
Ah,
just put it back on. It says her question is what should be done for skin. She's asking for some tips, skincare after 35 years of age.
okay, basic stuff. Sunscreen. Sunscreen is a must. Going to your dermatologist is a must. You don't need to spend thousands of rupees on fancy cosmetics. I mean, sorry, cosmetic companies. Yes, I do support you. I do believe in you, but you can go around that by giving a fraction of that money to a dermatologist, and they will also guide you. And they will probably streamline what you need for your skin in in a daily manner, in a weekly manner. So I feel that is really important. You need somebody to guide you. Secondly, I feel if you can use products which are non-paraben, non-silicon, non-mineral oil, and the healthier way of how we are all living nowadays, it's a better option broadly. It's a better option to use. And the next thing besides skin is, of course, makeup. It works for makeup as well. Buy healthy makeup as we buy healthy foods. We try buying organic, we try buying good stuff, buy healthy makeup. And if you really don't know how to use it, which is fine, you can go online, get training online. You can go one on one on somebody who's trusted and you want to, in terms of a makeup artist, and just get some suggestions.
Yeah.
Just think about five key products in your makeup kit to look absolutely fantastic. You don't need more than that. And why wouldn't you not want to look good? Especially if it's something
Absolutely.
important. Yeah. I mean, we all look like a mess at home. But when we were stepping out, wearing your best outfit, why not make your face look great as well? So that's important.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Thank you for those tips, Vidya. I'm sure they'll help a lot of people. So, Vidya, you've got two amazing kids, and I know that, some years of your life you've put in many, many hours of very hard work. It must have been a challenge being a parent and also, doing all the different things that you do. So, how did you strike a balance with that?
I don't know what my balance is and would not be somebody else's balance. But for me,
Yeah.
physical exercise was really important. I had to get out every morning and run or
Okay.
walk, exercise, do yoga or CrossFit. So for me, that 2 or 3 hours I did religiously for many, many, many years. Um, then things got me onto track because once again, for me, beauty is being healthy. Um, then with the two kids, yes, I had great help with me. They helped me along, and of course, I felt being a mother to a young child was tough, but being a mother to an adolescent is a different ball game, isn't it, Ramona?
It
It's like a
is.
different ball. I don't know. I didn't know. I know what like tough is, but this is not even tough. It's on a different level of toughness. So, and I don't think it's gonna stop. But
Yeah.
I'm learning. I mean, I've never been a parent before, so I'm still learning. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's easy. It's not. And this homeschooling is not easy.
Oh, yeah.
Network issues, and we have lots of issues. It's really, really not easy. So I think we're all new to it after post lockdown. All of us are like kind of like on tender hooks with everyone in the house. But yeah, it's the new way of surviving.
Yeah, I know it's been a challenging time. Yeah,
Yes.
it's been a tough time, I think, for so many people. And I agree with you on the online schooling bit. And I think it's not the same experience for a child as well, to have those classes online. And, teachers also have had to step up,
No one takes,
and figure out how to do this effectively.
yeah, true.
Sorry?
I said no one takes it seriously. The online schooling.
Online schooling? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
tough.
it's a concept that has been difficult to, get used to and kind of figure out that this is the way it's going to be for a while. It's very different from actually being able to go into a physical school. So it's definitely a challenge. But otherwise, how has this lockdown sort of period been for you? Those 4 months or so where we were pretty much restricted to our homes. What were the things that you were keeping busy with? You were pretty active, I think, on Instagram, but
I mean,
how did you handle that time? And
because I mean, I loved it for the first 2 3 months, and then I think the third and fourth month became a little difficult. But I feel
yeah,
it taught us a lot. It taught us to be self-sufficient. It taught us that we don't really need too much in life, and also now I feel so well, especially teaching online. I do teach online, and I do feel that with my 2 weeks and my 3 week course, I need to see the student at least once a week, you know, to come in and just showcase me whatever they know and what they've learned. If they're living in the NCR region, if they're not,
yeah,
of course,
yeah.
it's not possible. But I feel to a certain degree, online has been wonderful for adults. Schooling, I don't know, the teachers will tell you otherwise. But in terms of learning a new skill, it's been absolutely spot on. And I've really enjoyed teaching and learning various things as well.
Awesome.
So it's good. Yeah.
Awesome. So the online classes, is that something you did before, or you've just started that now in the last few months?
No, I've just kind of started it now because it really didn't take off with me beforehand because I was so
Uh-huh.
busy in my studio doing stuff. But now I realize a lot of people realize that you don't need a studio, you don't need a shop, you don't need anything. You just need to sit in your drawing room and do your thing. And that's been easy for a lot of us entrepreneurs because it cuts down our overheads and it cuts down so many things, travel, overheads. We don't need so much staff anymore. We can just pretty much do everything ourselves, which is lovely. Love this new turn, and I think the next generation will be really smart. They'll take it to the next level, of course. I'm just waiting for that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true. So Isha says, I waited for so many years to be on the hot seat for my special day. You made me look so gorgeous and beautiful.
Oh yes, I know that was just before lockdown, Isha. You're so lucky. Yeah, that was wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, and she
So
looked
have you
gorgeous.
restarted doing bridals? Bridal makeup is something that you've been doing, for years.
The brides have been so disgruntled. They want to get married. They're getting married.
Yeah. They're getting married.
Especially towards the end of the year. Um, but there have been ones who have just gotten married just recently, last 2 months, which is lovely because they're like, we can't do much. There's no honeymoon, but at least we're getting married, and we're living together. So good
Yeah.
for them. Yeah, there's lots
Yeah.
of rush at the end of the year. So I think all of us are going to be happy and very busy.
Yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure. And over the years, Vidya, obviously there must be training. You must be training yourself as well. I mean, I know you're an expert in the field now, but initially when you came back to India, there must be things you did to, continue upgrading your skills, because you talked about that how you always made
Yes.
sure you were up with the trends and you knew what was happening.
So nowadays we've just become lazy. This new
Uh-huh.
generation, they're totally lazy. They don't have to do anything. All they have to do is switch on their mobile phone. Okay, there's so
Yeah.
much out
Yeah.
there. There's so much information, which is wonderful. I mean, I wish I had it 30 years ago. But we do have seminars. We attend seminars. Of course, not now. Not in the last 6, 7, 8 months. But otherwise, seminars
Yeah.
was big business. There were a lot of international artists coming into India and all over the world. But unfortunately,
Uh-huh.
that stopped. That's
Yeah.
why online training has really picked up.
Yeah.
It's gone to the next level, which is wonderful. And of course, things will keep changing. Who knows what's going to happen next year? As I said, I'm really excited to see what is next in store for us because we have to be updated. And is
Yeah.
united. We are all wanting to know what the next look is, what the next season's going to be presenting to us. So we are updated, thankfully. And there are ways and means where we do train ourselves as well. It's a lot of practice. It's getting your models in, it's buying the new products, which is expensive. Of course, hygiene plays a big part in what
Uh-huh.
we do. And a lot of people who I interact with in terms of students, I make sure that they have got the test, make sure that we are as much distancing ourselves and wearing our masks and getting along with our class. That's how it's going to be for the next few months, I
Okay.
feel.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. So, the male grooming bit that I talked about before, I'd love for you to share more about that, about how you kind of, decided that that was an area also for a focus for you, and how that experience has been.
I feel like it's all about looking your best. It's like this metrosexual terminology has really taken the male grooming to the next level, I feel. Um, a lot of the grooms, besides models, of course, models and actors, they all need makeup all the time. That's nothing
Yeah.
new or different. But I'm talking about people who are not in the glamour industry, the male, the grooms, they all have asked me in the beginning, of course. But now people are just out there and they're like, okay, so if we were also to get makeup done, if you come to the venue, my bride to be is there, I'm in this next room, can you come in and just, touch me up and do a little bit of correction? Not makeup. So yes, a lot of them are getting makeup
Yeah.
done for photographic. Everyone wants to look photo perfect, right? Picture perfect, photo
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
So we are doing that. So it's either me, it depends. It's either me or I send an artist in and they do a little bit of correction. And of course, there's always little tricks which we do here and there for the male grooms or male
Okay.
makeup. Yeah, and the thing is, it's
Okay.
got to be really good because it cannot look like a thick layer of makeup, right? So you've got to be clever
Yeah.
about it.
True.
The products which we use for male makeup has to be of top quality, and of course, the way
Okay.
in which we is a different technique. But yes, it has taken off, and I'm so happy that the male uh, gender has also realized that they also have to look good or presentable in their
Yeah.
pictures. I mean, the brides and the mothers are all looking glammed up, and the men are like looking a little sad and dowdy, but not anymore. Not anymore. They're up there giving good competition to us women.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So what plans? What plans ahead, Vidya? What are the plans for the future? I know you said that it's unpredictable, things are going to keep changing, but on a personal level for you and with your work, what are your plans for the future?
Well, I just, for me, it's going the way I want it to go because it's my choice,
Okay.
of course. It's come to a point
Yeah.
where I just want to do really quality work, and I'm doing very small classes. It's not that I'm doing 60 people in a class and I'm charging X amount. I'm charging a lot more, and I'm taking a lot less people. There are people where
Uh-huh.
I'm just doing one on one. There are times where I'm just doing 3 or 4 at a time. But the big groups,
Okay.
that doesn't happen. It's only going to happen online. So that is what the future is. And I'm happy because it's not a rat race. It's not rushing here and rushing there. And it's basically a lot of online work where you're working from home, the comfort of your home, and the ones who do want to meet up is they're the ones who are superbly interested, and they're serious about their passion for makeup, and that's what really keeps me going, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Wonderful. And again, I just, before we end, I wanted to just share that I've personally witnessed, uh, the aspect of your personality that I talked about, where, you're just a super generous person who's mentored so many people, who's helped so many people. So I just wanted to really, bring that to the fore and thank you, for all the beautiful work you've been doing all these years and for being the beautiful, wonderful person that you are, Vidya. Thank you so much. You're
Thank you.
changing the world in your own unique way. And thank you for being here.
Who's talking? Ditto goes to you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Vidya, for being here today. It was wonderful having you on Keeping It Real with Rammona.
Thank you. Thank you. Lots of
Take
love.
care.
Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Bye-bye. Bye.